Did you know that over 270 million people migrate each year? That's more than 3% of the world's population. But what happens when you leave everything behind and step into the unknown? The impact on your mindset can be more profound than you'd imagine. In this story, we'll explore how migration can forever change the way you see the world. Migration is much more than a physical relocation. It's a shift in perspective, a complete transformation. Moving to a new country isn't just about packing your belongings and getting on a plane, it's about preparing for an entirely new way of thinking and living. Suddenly, everything you've known, from the language to the customs, is unfamiliar. You're no longer just adapting to a new place, you're reprogramming your mind. But why does this happen? Why does a simple move alter so much within us? To understand this, we need to look at the psychological and emotional journey that migration creates. For many migrants, the journey begins with a profound sense of uncertainty. In the first few days, or even weeks, everything feels foreign. The food, the language, the customs, they all seem to work against you, pulling you out of your comfort zone. Many migrants face identity crises, wondering who they are in this new place. The struggle to understand and navigate the system, often coupled with feelings of loneliness or isolation, can feel overwhelming. Language barriers can be one of the toughest obstacles to overcome. Imagine trying to explain yourself when the words you need don't come to you easily. It's frustrating, exhausting, and humbling. Even simple tasks like grocery shopping or asking for directions become a mental and emotional challenge. But it's not just the language. It's the culture, so different, so unfamiliar. The norms you once knew become blurred. What is considered polite in your home country might be perceived differently in the new world. The way people interact, the pace of life, and the values they hold are all outside of your comfort zone. At times, the weight of being a stranger in a new land can feel suffocating. But here's the thing, the discomfort, the confusion, and the frustration are not obstacles that you must simply endure. They are the very things that force change in your mindset. As you push through these challenges, you begin to see the world from a new angle. As you immerse yourself in a new culture, your worldview starts to expand. With each day that passes, the world that once seemed divided, between what's familiar and what's foreign, begins to feel more connected. Language is one of the first things you learn to adapt to. It's not just about learning new words, it's about learning how to think in a different way. Every language has a unique structure and rhythm, and in learning it, you start to reshape the way your mind works. For example, some languages have multiple words for a single concept, words that describe the nuances of human emotion that you may never have fully articulated before. In this way, learning a new language isn't just about communication, it's about unlocking new pathways in your brain, understanding the world more deeply, and understanding yourself in ways you never thought possible. In addition to the language, the new customs and traditions force you to broaden your empathy. Imagine experiencing a holiday or celebration that's completely different from your own. It opens your eyes to the diversity of human experience and teaches you that there is no single, right, way to live. These experiences challenge old beliefs and biases, inviting you to see the world through a more inclusive lens. Perhaps most importantly, migration teaches you that home is not defined by a place, it's defined by connection. Over time, you begin to realize that you can belong in multiple places, that your identity doesn't have to be confined to one country, one culture, or one tradition. You become a global citizen, with a heart and mind that are not limited by borders. Let's pause here and take a deeper look at how migration can shift someone's perspective, not just on the world, but on their own life. Take Sarah, for example. Sarah moved to the US from Brazil when she was in her early 20s, full of hopes and dreams of a brighter future. But soon, the initial excitement of a new life faded into a feeling of isolation. She found herself in a city where she didn't speak the language fluently, where the food, the culture, and even the people were so different. It felt like a constant battle to fit in, and every day seemed like a test of her resilience. For months, Sarah struggled with the cultural divide, unable to bridge the gap between her Brazilian roots and the American environment she was now part of. She couldn't help but feel lost, caught between two worlds and not fully belonging to either. But then something remarkable happened. Instead of retreating further into her own cultural identity, Sarah began to explore the lives and perspectives of the people around her. She started working with immigrant communities, realizing that her experiences weren't unique. Others were grappling with similar challenges. Through these interactions, Sarah discovered something powerful: she wasn't alone. And in that realization, she began to feel a shift in her mindset. No longer just someone caught between two cultures, Sarah became a bridge between them. She used her experiences to educate others, to create understanding between immigrant communities and native-born Americans. She began to see the challenges of migration as opportunities for growth, connection, and change. Sarah's journey reflects the profound impact migration can have on your mindset. It's not just about surviving the process, it's about growing through it, evolving into someone more empathetic, more resilient, and more connected to the world. The personal growth that comes from migration is something few people ever anticipate. As you navigate the difficulties of adjusting to a new life, you begin to change. You may find yourself more open to new experiences, more willing to listen to others' stories, and more determined to push through challenges. This growth often manifests in subtle ways. You begin to take more risks, knowing that you've already faced the most difficult challenge of all, leaving your home and starting over. You develop a deeper sense of confidence, not because things are always easy, but because you know that you can handle the difficulties life throws at you. What's even more striking is the way migration reshapes your priorities. You might have come to a new country with a singular goal, like finding a better job or escaping an unstable situation, but over time, your sense of what's truly important starts to shift. You begin to value relationships more than material possessions, experiences more than comfort. Your idea of success evolves from something external to something internal. And in that transformation, you discover that the person you've become is far stronger, more compassionate, and more self-aware than the person you were before the migration. Migration, in its essence, is about transformation. It's not just about packing up your life and moving to a new country. It's about the way you change internally, how your perspective shifts, and how you become more attuned to the world around you. It's a journey that forces you to confront your fears, expand your understanding, and embrace change in a way you never thought possible. But perhaps the most important lesson that migration teaches us is that it's not just the physical relocation that matters.